Okay, we're gonna start with my oil blend, and all the measurements for this recipe I'm going to put in a separate downloadable PDF so you can make this yourself. This is my lye and water. We're gonna pour this in there. We're gonna make sure we get all of it out. So I'm scraping my container. Okay, once that's done, we're gonna start stirring just with the spoon for now to make sure that everything's incorporated, and then we'll use the stick blender. You can kind of feel the change right away. It's gonna get a little more viscous. And once you start feeling that, you can start with the stick blender. See the color change as the lye starts to react to the oils. And I want to make sure that you know both my lye water mix and my oils were room temperature. I usually mix my lye water in the morning and then let it sit for a few hours so that it cools down. Okay, this is at trace. What that means is that when I sweep my blender through, you can see that it leaves a mark, which means that it's stiff enough that I can use my essential oil blend in it. I'm going to pour all the essential oil blend in there. You do have to be careful. Some essential oils are going to make your soap heat up faster. So if you're just starting out, I would make a small test batch to make so that you know how your essential oil is going to react. I'm just going to stir this in without turning it on for right now. And then I'm going to turn it on. Okay, that's it for that, and now we're going to pour it into the molds. This batch makes 4 pounds of soap, which will be 2 of my 2-pound molds. The recipe I'm going to put down will make 2 pounds of soap, so it'll be good for a smaller batch. Okay, this soap does have inclusions. These inclusions are also cold processed soap. I made them at another time. I just filled up an entire 2-pound loaf and made the soap and then cut it into cubes. So we're gonna start off by pouring a little bit of soap. And I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get my hands in the way. I'm gonna start by pouring some soap in the bottom. Oops. Okay, and try not to make a mess. All right, I'm gonna shake that down, tap it, make sure I don't have any air bubbles, and then I'm going to dump some of my inclusions into the soap. I'm just eyeballing the ratios. Make sure I've got a few so that each piece of soap when I cut it is going to have some. I think that is just about right. Okay, I also have over here some micas stirred into some apricot kernel oil. I use apricot kernel oil just because I don't want anybody with nut allergies to have to worry, but you could also use olive oil, almond oil, whatever oil you prefer. I'm going to use these little pipettes and I'm going to suck up just a little bit of this, and then I'm going to drizzle some in here just to give a little bit of color to the center of the soap. I want it to kind of end up looking like a funky tie-dye t-shirt, so. Okay, and we're going to do the second color. I'm trying to work fairly quickly because I can already see that this soap is setting up, because the essential oils in this blend do make it harden a little bit faster. Plus my recipe calls for a deficit of water and a small amount of salt to help make for harder bars. Okay. Yeah, you can already see this is hardening up pretty fast, so I'm gonna have to work a little bit quicker. We're gonna just dump some more on top to cover up those first inclusions. Okay, spread that out some, make sure everything's covered up, and then we'll tamp it down. Do the same thing again. Okay, let's get our second layer of inclusions in there before our soap completely hardens and we can't do anything more. Okay. All right. I'm going to quickly get some of this on there. Okay. Okay, last color. Okay, now let's get the top on there. I'm just going to chunk some on there for now, trying to get it even. This will be a lot easier if you just start out with one thing of soap, because then you don't have to worry about getting an even amount. Okay, work it into the corners. Sure we get all of it out of here. We don't want to waste any of this soap. essential oils, and the olive oil base I use for this is expensive, so we don't want to waste any of it. Okay, now let's make sure that this is evened out, and then we can make the top look pretty. Make sure I scrape my spatula off. Okay, let's tap this down. Okay, I'm gonna get just a spoon. I bought these spoons specifically for this purpose. I don't ever use kitchen utensils on soap. Okay, make sure we get down the corners, and then I'm just gonna push up on either side. To make a pretty top. Okay. Clean up these edges. Okay, I'm going to do the same over here. Make sure we've got stuff in the corners. Clean along the edges. And then I'm going to take some more of that mica and drizzle that on top. One more color, and then I'm going to take the last little bit of my inclusions that I have, and I'm going to put a few on top. I'm going to try and space them out so that every bar of soap has a little bit of those on there. All right. Ooh, a couple more over there. Okay. Just want to put them in on either side. And if you need to, you can mark where the soap is going to be cut to make this easier for you, but I do this so often I kind of know where they're going to cut, so I can kind of estimate where I need to put my little inclusions just to make the soap look pretty when it's finished. And then this, once done, will go into a safe spot and cure for 18 to 24 hours. And then I will show you how we cut it. And you can see what the finished bar looks like when it's done. That one's too big. I'm gonna get smaller ones. All right, that's it. Now it can dry, and then we'll show you how to cut it next time. Hey, welcome back, guys. It's the next day, and this is what the Free Spirit soap looks like once I took it out of the mold. And now we're gonna put it in, and we're gonna cut it. All right. So I'm going to line it up so that I can get the most bars out of it. And here we go. I go slow, so I try not to dislodge very many of these top parts. take one out of the middle and see what it looks like. That's what it looks like. There's another one. And that's it for the free spirit soap. I'll let this sit and finish curing for at least 3 to 6 weeks.